Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stilezzi here, and I got another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition casted game for you right now. Another Breaking Me Chinese demonstration, this time against the infamous Kynesie with the Aztecs. So this should be a really good combat between the two. Let's check out the map real quick and see how that's going to affect gameplay. Looks like we're in the sunny state of Florida. And unfortunately for us, Disney World was not constructed yet. It's still a big, nasty swamp over here, where unfortunately you will not be able to build buildings in this more murky water section. You can build on the sandy spots above the ground, above the swamp though, but you just can't build in the swamp itself. You can walk through it though, so that's good. Not that you would want to walk through it, but you can definitely do that sort of thing. The middle part of the map is the open part of it, pretty much, where you can just walk straight towards your opponent. There's just a few trees there and a few mines. There's also a trade route here that has about 4 trading post spots on it, so really good capture for both sides depending on what they're looking for. China will probably grab either this one or this one if they want to be a bit more aggressive and keep this one for later. And the other part of the map, the wonderful sandy beaches of Florida, right? So you got some whales, you got some fish. It's a great place, particularly for Kynesie's Aztecs to go fish booming on. And a good place to sneak up on your opponent too by boarding a boat and landing somewhere around here. So we'll see if that ends up happening or not. And lastly, this map does have a lot of archer-based natives. You got the Caribs and you got the Seminoles, so a lot of skirmisher action on the native front. Let's see how this match turns out and see who is the champion here. Breaking Me's Chinese. A very unique Chinese experience. From what we've seen, Breaking Me is a real master of the Chinese civilization, even more than me. And that says a lot, right? Yeah, definitely Breaking Me has totally made me rethink the way to play the Chinese. Instead of going with the old school, let's just build a summer palace, spiel, and get some free banner armies, he says, you know what? I'm going to improvise on the whole Chinese build order system and make it much better. And what he has effectively learned is while you do stick with some more basic aspects like building the trading posts that I've used with the Chinese, he has found it's actually better to go with the French consulate and not the Russian one. And by going with the French consulate through the T-export card as the way of doing that, he has effectively found an even stronger way to age up than even going with the infinite 300 food that so many Chinese players have done for eons in the Legacy game. Because as you know, with the French consulate, they have a technology that gives you about 400 food crates, that is. And that's even stronger because that propels you even faster towards your H2 age up, which is quite good. It's really good, actually. Especially when you're going up against a Native American opponent, right? As you know, Aztecs belong to the Native American culture. Native American civs, as you know, are really good at rushing opponents. They get a politician called the Messenger that ages up very quickly, allowing the Aztecs, Lakota, Inca, and so forth to rush you really fast out of the gate. This makes the whole French consulate move of aging up a bit faster with 400 food a really smart idea. So that depending on what the Aztecs do, Breaking Me will be able to respond and like to that situation, which is really good with that type of flexibility it gives you. And I will note here that the Aztecs did indeed research hunting dogs from their market here. On the Florida map, you do start the game with the market, which gives most civs the option of actually going for their hunting dogs type technology right out of the gate. China did not get theirs just because of the way they get their starting crates as their civ. A little bit of a bummer, but that's alright. They can definitely pick that technology up a bit later. Quakic Ascension time remaining, so it looks like Kynesie has used that ability here from what it looks like. Yep. Looks like does get the 70 wood treasure as well, which is quite good. And we do see an Eagle Scout here. Now, something I learned interesting about this Eagle Scout is when you're playing the Aztecs, Whenever you're fighting treasure guardians, it's always good to allow the Eagle Scout to kill the treasure guardian, because you actually get an increased XP bounty when the Eagle Scout kills the unit, which is something I really didn't know until I saw some guide from Julian K about that. So whenever I do end up doing Aztecs, yep, you just let the Eagle Scout do it. See how much XP you got from that? About 32. It's quite good. It's quite good. So whenever you're playing Aztecs, just make sure that you let your Eagle Scout do the final kill. You'll get so much more XP out of that, which will help you with shipments. Looks like Aztecs goes for the Big Bun technology that does grant some Jaguar Prowl Knights here to go right after China with. Regardless of Breaking Me's good timing, he's still about only halfway, or a little bit less than that, towards his age up. He's going to have to survive all these Jag Knights, it looks like, which could be a bit concerning. Yep, getting the TC, don't even risk it. Very good. Fortunately, this wonder still continues to build itself, even if Vils are not on it. So, yeah, there's like no chance of this porcelain tower being down. That would be too sad, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. But now the irregulars have arrived, these wonderful Minutemen type units to scare off the Jag Knights. That should help China out for a little bit to get their ball bearing figured out. And oh wow, ooh, look at that, using the stealth mode with precision there, landing right on top of the irregulars. Yeah, he's gonna try to make that one go away because it's low HP. Oh, very nice. That was a good tactic there by Kynesie to essentially use the stealth ability of the Jag Knights to ambush those units. If you didn't know, for the Native American civs, if a unit has the word prowl in its name, it most often has the stealth ability available to it. So if you look at the names of like the Hods with the Forest Prowler, it's a stealth unit. If you look at the Tajunki Prowlers, it's a stealth unit. Jaguar Prowl Knights, it's a stealth unit. So anything that has stealth prowl in the name is a unit that can go into stealth. Yeah, just figured I'd point that out as a little reminder, so you know that when you're dealing with those zips, right? Ooh, look at that. Shoot canoe right on the village. That was a horrible time in there for Kynesie to be there. And he ended up losing a Jag Knight in the process. So now he's completely on the run at this point. The match is totally went in Breaking Me's favor, it looks like. Yep. And we'll continue with the flamethrower and castle rickshaw shipment. That will not only provide a flamethrower to push a little bit further, but also defend the home front with a nice tower that can protect his hunts and his mines. Could put it over here conceivably. Could also put it maybe over here. Maybe somewhere up there. It really depends on where Breaking Me is looking to push to exactly. Oh, goes for the forward position again, just like last game. So that's going to help protect this forward mine. If Breaking Me does decide to get these trading posts for whatever reason, that could help with send that up as well. Yeah. Does get a native scout too. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's Haudenosaunee Tomahawk, so a bit of anti-cav to his army too. That thing should be really good against coyote runners if Kynesie ends up getting any of those. Now, what's interesting is, looking back at this deck here, the deck does have the Fish Boom potential, but it does not look like Kynesie has actually gone for the Fish Boom yet. Looks like he could at any time, though. I think he's just biding his time. Oh, wait a minute, he does have a dock here. I didn't even see that. So this is the Fish Boom right here. From what people have told me about Kynesie, he really loves his water builds pretty much, so fish booming just comes naturally to him. So yep, right now, how many fishing boats is he on? He is on about 5, is that right? Now he's going to have 6 of them, so yeah, Kynesie is going to be bringing in a lot of food here. Food is like going to be a non-issue, pretty much. And I'm imagining at some point he's probably going to pick up the fish market to really get a better fish rate going pretty soon. Could also use the water ceremony pretty much if he runs into a naval combat situation. Yep, I was just watching that Chineseville there to see if he might actually go for counter-war, but does not look like he does. Is there any counter-war water? Nope, none. This is just a totally land-based deck here, so basically the water is going to be totally Kynesie's domain unless it shows otherwise, from what we see. Yeah. which is going to be really good for Kynesie and somewhat bad for Breaking Me. Looks like at this point all the warrior priests are on the community plaza, so this community plaza is totally in full working order at this point. Kalmakek, the next council member you research, who are researching will age up twice as fast, so setting up an age up potentially. Does not have... Yep, actually is aging up there. I see the little green bar, so that should really help that go quickly. Pretty much, yep. So who's the politician? The elder. So that should help with that. And what's going on with China? I want to see how China prepares this push now. China is already starting to pump out the Mongolian armies from their castle. Gonna ship in about... Oh, they're getting the wood crates from the French consulate. This is why the French consulate is such a good option, by the way, based on the Breaking Me build. You can bring in those wood crates, you can bring in those coin crates from those techs, and it'll really just ramp you up in terms of your setup, pretty much, yeah. Goes for the hand mortars right away to get the siege going. Doesn't really want to give Kynesie too much time to take advantage of his fish boom, I can imagine. Yep, we got a noble hut going up right here. I think it should be able to go up before the hand mortars start pumping on it. But we'll see what Kynesie ends up doing next. So making some of the Anton and slingers I see. Going for a 8 villager shipment there. Kind of a greedy shipment. Will it be good though? Will it actually make a difference economically in this fight? Yeah, so what units are we looking at? So we're looking at a shipment of about 13 Antonins. We got the Jag Knights. We got another Antonin. And as far as support cards is, we got the Coyote one and we got the Antonin one there. So maybe we'll see. Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of Antonin slingers this game. But question is, will they be able to last long against all these step riders coming through with the Mongolian army? That's sort of a good way that Breaking Me ends up covering himself really well in these matches. Is not only does he have the light cav to help against cavalry, but he has the hand cav to punish any sort of skirmish counter to his light cav, which is really tactical, you know. So it looks like the Antons do get their lead upgrade now, so they're all fully upgraded. Does try to go for some Eagle Runner Knights for the cav. These Urks, as you know, are really good against cavalry from range, pretty much. They're essentially foot dragoons. And, yep, Antonin's trying to micro this as best as possible. They're doing fairly well against these step riders, you know. They're not the strongest cav out there, since they're only a 1-pop hand cav unit. Yeah, I would try to stay clear of this flamethrower as best as you can, pretty much. I'm surprised the war chief there didn't target the flamethrower a bit better there. That might have been a little bit better, you know. It looks like the Community Plus is working on the war chief to revive him as much as possible. So there's the war chief once again. Trying to save these warrior priests as much as possible. Just looks like there's not enough units here. Not enough protection. Kynesie, I think, really went a little bit too greedy there with the 8 vills, and he should have thought about maybe some anti-cav or something. Oh, yep, Kynesie says GG. Good early push there by Breaking Me once he got into age 3. That was a really good offense, you know. Really good setup there by him. For Kynesie, I would say probably you can't be so greedy against opponents like that, particularly Chinese, because Chinese, once they hit that age 3 timing, they could become a real bombshell for you to deal with. So you have to be a little bit more careful of that, you know. Maybe put away the 8 villagers and perhaps get the Jag Knights out. Maybe consider again an Urk shipment in there. Something to deal with hand cav, because seems like all these players that go up against Breaking Me just fall to the hand cav. They try to get stuff for the Kijiks and the infantry, and then they just have nothing for the hand cav. Like they get completely shredded by them. At least that's what I see a lot of the time. In terms of resources, yep, regardless of all that fish booming and the villager cards, it looks like Breaking Me still maintained a better economy. Just slightly. Which says a lot, you know. It just shows you what happens when you combine a starting porcelain tower with the French consulate as your starting game, how that really makes your economy work really well. Basically, China was able to say, you know what, it doesn't matter that you're fish booming, and you're getting extra vills from the home sleeve, I'm still going to have a better resource output than you, and that says a lot right there. In terms of military, really caught Kynesie at a horrible timing there. Had like 25 and ton slingers. Really did not matter since there was like barely anything protecting them. They had like no protection at all. Like maybe 1 or 2 Jag Knights, that's it. And the Explorer, that was like really, really good timing attack by China. Completely shifted the game in their favor so easily. Yep, I think for now that's the only Breaking Me recordings I got. If I get any more, I am going to happily share them with you. This is a good demonstration of China right here, and I know there's a lot of people too that are looking for sort of Chinese build orders and strategies and tactics. Just watch Breaking Me. He just really knows his stuff with this Civ, and I definitely think he's a really good China player, like maybe one of the best ones I've seen. So definitely looking forward to more games from him. Either way, sign off now. See you in the next casted game, whether it's a Breaking Me one. Maybe we'll get somebody new. Who knows? Hoping for the best. See you then.